Limp Bizkit in their heyday were one of the most popular bands on the planet. With that success brought hate. A lot of hate. There are a few reasons why they're the most hated, with the biggest being the grown-up Kevin from Ed, Edd n Eddy lookalike, Fred Durst. He did himself no favors by getting himself into unnecessary beefs, and today we will talk about the many beefs of Fred Durst. The year was 1999, and we had gotten classics such as Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers, Enema of the State by Blink-182, and Issues by Korn. Speaking of Korn, then drummer Dave Silveria had the interesting idea to pose for a Calvin Klein ad. Safe to say he got clowned for it, with one of the loudest voices being frontman of Slipknot, Corey Taylor, who in an interview had said, and I quote, "Today's underground hero is tomorrow's fucking Calvin Klein jeans commercial. That's hard to take when you're a kid. I was lucky. I got to wait till I was 23 for Metallica to cheese out." One person who stood out from the crowd of hate was Fred Durst, who was quoted in an interview saying, "Slipknot fans are a bunch of fat, ugly kids." The feud would officially gain steam with a fiery response from Corey during an Australian TV promo tour in February of 2000.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I want to tell you what I said to that. One, I'm a fat, ugly kid. Two, Slipknot fans, for the most part, enjoy all kinds of music, like Limp Bizkit, maybe. So what you're basically saying is that your fans are fat, ugly kids too? Is that what you're trying to say to me, Mana? Huh? Is that what you want to say? You want to talk shit on the people that you care about, man? We will come here and we will kill you!
The two have seemingly buried the hatchet, as at a 2011 live show, Taylor had stated, "All that I can say is that Fred Durst is a person."
Me? I've been 9 beers and sitting there.
All I can say is Fred Durst
is a cunt.
Is a person.
He had also apparently taken photos with Durst's kids. This next beef is really dumb, so we're gonna go into the year of 2000. The event was Dysfunctional Family Picnic. Limp Bizkit were scheduled to perform, but they were there an hour late, and when Fred got on stage, he decided to go on stage and say, "I want to dedicate this next song to the lead singer of Creed." Later on, during the second song, Bro would go off and say, "That guy's an egomaniac. He's a punk, and he's backstage right now acting like fucking Michael Jackson. That motherfucker." Stapp would rebuttal by saying it takes a lot more guts to say something to somebody than behind their backs during the show. Fred would even double down on these remarks in an MTV Total Request live after the event.
Yeah, what happened there?
Well, for one thing, the guy is out of his mind. Like, he thinks he's a better human than everybody. He claims all this spirituality, this super killer guy. He doesn't give a damn about any of his fans. He ignores everybody. And you walk by his dressing room, his people, they look at you and they go, "You do not approach the band, you do not talk to the band, you do not look at the band." And you're just like, what is the deal with this guy, man?
Choosing to take the high road, Scott would say in a later statement, "We are extremely disappointed that Fred Durst has taken his personal feelings toward us public, considering we have never met or spoken to him. But we are more disappointed that Fred is manipulating the media and the truth by using Creed as a scapegoat for his own immature and egotistical actions." Scott would take it an even step further and propose a boxing match between the two. All the money generated would go to charity, but Durst had declined. During an event that was hosted at the Irving Plaza back in 1998, Fred Durst and Brian Molko of Placebo had gotten into an altercation after Durst was asked to introduce the band, and all he did was go up on stage and lead the crowd in a Placebo sucks chant.
Last time I was here at Irving Plaza, I want to relive this memory. I want everybody in here to repeat after me. Everybody say, "Placebo! Placebo! Say Placebo! Placebo! That bunch of punks."
This feud would reignite once the two bands were scheduled to perform at the Big Day Out event in 2001. However, it seems like things are good now. Fred and Britney had been working on music together, and there were multiple photos of them seen together, and there were rumors spouting on that she was dating him at that time. This was right off the heels of the high-profile Justin Timberlake-Britney Spears relationship. And let me break down just how this happened. So yeah, we've been dating, things have been good, and I hope to get, married to her at some point. Excuse me? We're not in a relationship? You're very nice, you're sweet, but we're not in a relationship. We're just working together. Fuck you, Britney! A copy of their demo tape was delivered to Fred Durst, and this was how Puddle of Mudd got their step into the music industry, with one of rock's most hated frontmen, Wes Scantlin, being the front and center stage of the entire band. With their debut studio album Come Clean being massively successful, this would launch the band into the stratosphere. But Durst didn't just stop there. He helped them navigate the ins and outs of the industry. But what came with this is constant questions surrounding his relationship with Durst, and in a 2004 Canadian chart magazine interview, he'd be quoted as saying, "He doesn't write our songs, he doesn't produce our songs, he doesn't do anything for us. He doesn't do our videos anymore, he doesn't do anything for this band. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the guy is like. All I know is that he's Mr. Hollywood guy, Mr. Celebrity. Like, I don't hang out with anybody except Hollywood celebrities. Every single fucking interview I've ever done, I get asked about that guy. And for me to do interviews all the time and to be asked about this certain individual, people think he writes music with me or something. He does not do that. I just don't get it. We have nothing in common. He doesn't even call us. He has his assistant call us to congratulate us on our record. Yeah, that's how pathetic he is." Something that's unfortunately well documented was that Scantlin had been battling drug abuse. You combine that with stardom and it's a recipe for disaster. It seems as though the dust has settled and both sides have expressed wanting to work with each other once again. Wes even proposed the idea of making a movie about his life, with Durst being one of the directors. So, when Taproot first broke out, Fred was one of the first people that got a hold of the tape and absolutely loved it, and in fact wanted to sign them to a deal. However, the band wanted to test the waters to see if they can get a better deal. This made Fred furious, as he immediately decided the best idea is to leave a threatening voicemail.
"Steve, Fred Durst. Hey man, you fucked up. You don't ever bite the hand that feeds in this business, bro. And your fucking manager, so bad, is a fucking idiot, loser motherfucker going nowhere. You just chosen that path. Took you under my wing, brought you to my house. Fucking talked about your ass on radio and press. And you embarrassed like me and the Interscope family. Your association with Limp Bizkit doesn't exist. Your manager slings our name around. He's gonna be blackballed and probably be erased. And you will too. He's a fucking idiot. You're gonna fucking learn from this time right here. I hope you let your band know that you just fucked yourself. You need to be associated with somebody in this business. You need something to get you out there and put you out there and believe in it. Now you got enemies, and you're fucking yourself already. Tell your friend that. Don't fucking show up at my shows, because if you do, you're gonna get fucked. Alright? You and your fucking punk ass, man. You call your fucking manager, David Menezes, whatever. Ask him what he's done and doing. You're a fucking dumb motherfucker. You're learning right now exactly how to ruin your career before it gets started. All the luck, brother. Fuck you.
Ooh, 5'8", 160 or 70 pound Fred Durst is gonna get me. Very scary indeed. You may be wondering, what does System of a Down have to do with this? Well, both Taproot and System of a Down were managed by Velvet Hammer. And because Taproot chose to test the market and eventually signed with Atlantic Records instead of Interscope, Fred allegedly took out his anger on System of a Down by dropping them from the Family Values tour because of their association with Velvet Hammer. According to Durst's explanation, he stated, "System of a Down is no longer on the tour. Can't stand their manager. He's the piece of shit that got them off the tour." So essentially, this technically isn't a beef with the band, but instead beef with the management. Around this time, Eminem and Everlast had been beefing, sending shots and diss tracks back and forth. Fred was good friends with Eminem at the time and wanted to join in on the beef. But I kid you not, this is how this started. So the day of when it was time to record the verses, Fred had gotten a toothache and didn't feel too well, so he let M know, and M later caught an interview where DJ Lethal said that Eminem might be the better MC, but in a fight Everlast would beat his ass. This is after DJ Lethal and Eminem spoke personally, and he said that he didn't feel comfortable being involved in the beef anymore now that he's cool with Everlast, and M had no problems, until he went on to the interview and said that. Yep, it wasn't Fred this time, instead it was DJ Lethal, a member of the band, getting them tied into this. Both sides haven't spoken since then. These two are Shaq and Kobe when it comes down to hating Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit as a whole. In fact, Manson hated him so much that back in 1999 when his website launched, he had called Limp Bizkit and their fans illiterate apes that'll beat your in high school for being another term that British people refer to a cigarette as, now sell you tuneless testosterone anthems of misogyny and pretend to be outsiders. In the case of Trent Reznor, it sucks because Durst cites him as one of his influences and he enjoys his music, and he went out of his way to make sure that everyone knew that he hated their music. He stated in a 2000 profile from Kerrang, "It's one thing if you know your place, like, hey, I'm an idiot who plays music, but people buy it. I'm having fun. It's another thing when you think you're David Bowie after you've stayed up all night to write a song called Break Stuff." I mean, Fred Durst has probably spelt the word break wrong the first couple times. Fred Durst might be a cool guy. I don't know him, but his art, in the loosest sense, sucks. Fred did not let this slide, and in the song Hot Dog off the album Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavor water, he would make several references to Nine Inch Nails. This would lead to Reznor getting writing credits on the song. Manson would fire back, and during a 2000 interview, he'd be asked about his opinion of the new Nine Inch Nails music video for the song Starfish Inc. And he replied with,
"We don't want to make a video that seemed like we're bitchy because Limp Bizkit's doing better than we are in their minds."
So look, I'm not going to say Limp Bizkit sucks, you know it, I know it, I'm not going to say it.
Fred wouldn't take these insults lightly, and he fired back with, "I understand that Marilyn Manson is very unhappy that his career has gone into shambles and he's alienated his fans, so if he has to say things like that because he's very mad at himself, I would forgive him." And Trent Reznor is in the same boat. Trent Reznor is obviously unhappy with how he's alienated the world, how long he took to make a record, and how he thought he was immortal. We're just here doing what we do, and we have nothing to say about anybody. I wish them both luck, and I feel sorry that they're so jealous and mad at themselves that they have to talk shit. Nowadays, it seems as though Durst and Manson are cordial, even after a 2008 slide after Wes Borland had joined Manson's touring band. He was quoted as saying, "Here's our new guitarist. He used to play for a really bad band." He'd leave less than 6 months later, though. As for Reznor, there's not much from his end. What I learned from all this is that Fred Durst was a massive egomaniac. The unparalleled success, the money, and the fame all helped contribute into making him one of the most unlikable people in all of rock. And that's regardless of if you think their music is bad or not. If you guys like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, stay snazzy, folks.